You just heard something juicy about someone you know. Your chest tightens, your eyes widen. You already know you have to tell someone. That urge feels shameful. It feels petty. But the real answer is far stranger. Gossip is not a character flaw. It is a survival tool. And your brain is wired to crave it the same way it craves food and warmth. Think about your last conversation with a close friend. Chances are most of it was not about ideas or facts. It was about people. Who did what? Who said what? Who can be trusted and who cannot? Studies tracking everyday conversation have found that roughly 2/3 of adult talk time is spent this way. Not on weather, not on politics, on other people. Why would evolution build a species obsessed with talking about each other? The anthropologist Robin Dunbar has spent decades studying this exact question. He noticed something odd about primates. Chimpanzees and other apes spend hours every day grooming each other, picking through fur, removing bugs, building trust one gentle touch at a time. It looks relaxing. It is actually hard work. Grooming keeps alliances strong, and alliances keep individuals alive. But grooming has a problem. It only works one-on-one. You can groom one chimp at a time. As a group grows larger, there simply are not enough hours in the day to groom everyone who matters to your survival. Dunbar proposed something radical. Language did not evolve for hunting plans or tool-making. Language evolved to replace grooming. Talking, he argued, is grooming at a distance. And gossip is the purest form of that talking, because gossip is social grooming for a species too large to touch everyone individually. Here is where it gets stranger. With language, you can groom several people at once. You can sit around a fire and update an entire group on who is trustworthy and who is not, all in a single conversation. One story can do the social work of 100 individual grooming sessions. That efficiency mattered. It mattered enormously. Picture a small band of early humans, maybe 30 or 40 people, moving together across a landscape with no police, no courts, no written laws. How do you know who will share meat fairly? How do you know who might sneak off with more than their share? How do you know who is quietly plotting to take a mate that already belongs to someone else? You cannot watch everyone all the time, so you rely on something else. You rely on reputation. And reputation is built and maintained through nothing but talk. The anthropologist Polly Wiessner spent years living among the Juhwanzi people of the Kalahari Desert, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer societies on Earth. She recorded their conversations around the fire, night after night, for months. What she found reshaped how researchers understand gossip. During the day, Jew/Hwanzi conversation was mostly practical. Where to find food? Who needs help? Complaints about laziness or unfairness. Necessary, but tense. At night, everything changed. Around the fire, the same people who had been correcting and criticizing each other during daylight relaxed into something else entirely. Storytelling, humor, tales about distant relatives, past hunts, ancestors long gone. Wiessner found that firelit conversation acted like a social reset button. It cooled tempers. It rebuilt bonds strained by the day's small conflicts. It stitched the group back together before sleep. Gossip, in other words, is not just about tearing people down. It is about repair. It is about keeping the group cohesive enough to survive another day in a world with no safety net except each other. So why does gossip feel so shameful to admit to? Because somewhere along the way, humans learned that gossip is powerful, and powerful things get regulated. Every culture on Earth has rules about it. Rules about who is allowed to gossip, when, and about whom. Break those rules, and you risk becoming the subject of the next story instead of the one telling it. That fear is not irrational. It is ancient. For most of human history, being talked about badly was not a minor embarrassment. It could mean exile. And exile for a hunter-gatherer with no tools, no allies, and no group to share food or defense was often a death sentence. This is where something remarkable connects gossip to pain itself. Research on social exclusion has shown that the brain processes the sting of rejection using some of the same neural circuitry involved in physical injury. Being talked about, being excluded from the circle of trust, does not just feel bad. To an ancient nervous system built for group survival, it can register as a genuine threat to life. That is why a single unkind rumor can keep you awake at night. Your brain is not overreacting. It is running code written hundreds of thousands of years ago, when your reputation was your only insurance policy. Now think about the researcher Matthew Feinberg, who studies what is sometimes called pro-social gossip. His experiments placed people in situations where they could warn others about someone who had cheated or behaved selfishly. Almost everyone did it, even when it cost them personally. And here is the twist. People who received the warning consistently thanked the gossiper. They did not see it as petty. They saw it as protection. Gossip, in this light, is not the opposite of cooperation. It is one of the engines that makes cooperation possible at scale. Without some way to track who deserves trust, large groups of unrelated people could not function together. Gossip is the invisible currency that keeps that trust circulating. Consider what this means for modern life. You scroll through your phone and see a headline about a public figure's downfall. You feel a pull to read it, to talk about it, to share your opinion. That pull is not shallow curiosity. It is the same ancient machinery that once helped a small band of humans figure out who to trust around a fire. Social media did not invent gossip. It simply removed its natural limits. For most of human history, gossip could only travel as far as a voice could carry, within a group small enough that everyone eventually faced consequences for lying. Reputation was local, and it was self-correcting. Today, a rumor can reach millions of strangers in seconds, with no fire circle to cool it down afterward, no long relationship to hold the storyteller accountable. That mismatch between an instinct built for bands of 30 and a world of billions may explain why online gossip so often turns cruel instead of cohesive. The instinct is the same. The environment has completely changed. So the next time you feel that pull to share something you heard, notice it without judgment. That urge is not proof that you are petty or small. It is proof that you are deeply, thoroughly human. You are running a program that helped your ancestors know who to trust with their food, their children, and their lives. It kept small groups honest long before written law ever existed. The question worth asking is not whether you gossip. Everyone does. The real question is what kind of gossip you choose to spread. The kind that repairs. The kind Wiessner heard around the fire at night. Or the kind that isolates. The kind your brain fears most because it once meant being cast out alone. You just heard something juicy about someone you know. Your chest tightens, your eyes widen, and now you understand exactly why.